This is a tarot reading for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. Today we're going to look at your overall energy for the month of February. We're going to look into your obstacles, your weaknesses, your strengths in the situation, and then we'll get you some advice at the end of the reading with an oracle card. This is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Let's get straight into the reading. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. What's the overall energy for the month of February? First card out, Eight of Swords. So this is a card about feeling trapped, but this is mental. This is mental anguish. So this is like you feeling trapped, but you're creating that entrapment. Self-imposed imprisonment is the phrase that I was trying to think of earlier. This is you not being able to see a way out of a situation, or feeling stuck in a situation, feeling just trapped. And it has to do with your subconscious, and it has to do with, it's something that you're heavily involved in emotionally, or you have emotional investment, or it just triggers emotions in you. This is like not being able to see that you're so close to that homey feeling, to that coming home to yourself, to that stability and structure, and maybe like harmony in your home life or family life, whatever this is for you, only you can know. This is feeling trapped, but that's not actually the case. What's making you trapped in the situation for the month of February, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs, is your thoughts about the situation, your perception of the situation, the narrative that you have around the situation. And I understand that it's easier said than done to control your thoughts, control your mind. And this is a feeling of being out of control of your mind, or being trapped by your thoughts, trapped by this internal dialogue, or this narrative that you have, this story that you have about your situation. You don't see a way out of it because you're so focused on the feelings of entrapment, and you're so focused on the internal dialogue and the narrative that is keeping you there. You're resonating with it, you're identifying with it is a better word. You're identifying with it, and you think that that's who you are. And it's almost a feeling of like, well, I've always been this way, so I don't see any other way. This person cannot see that they can easily take, if they're not even tightly bound, they can just take off the whatever's tying them up and pull off their blindfold, and then they're not even trapped in the swords. They're not even trapped in the thoughts or the communication that another person is giving them, or whatever it is. It's like you're trapped within something. You have that perception, but if you took off the blindfold and decided to see the situation clearly, you would see that you could easily walk away, and that the home, the safety, the stability that you're seeking, coming home to yourself, is closer than you think, but you're turned the other way. You're focused on the past, or you're focused on just this narrative, this negative narrative that you have that just reinforces this feeling of being trapped. Let's pull a clarification card for this situation. What's this about? Has something to do with feeling betrayed. You could feel betrayed by someone else, or you can, there's some sort of deception going on. And because it is swords, of course, this can be, and for some of you, this will be, there are people who are communicating to you, projecting onto you, or lying to you, or deceiving you, and it's making you feel trapped. Or like the way you grew up, it's like people hammered into you like you're nothing special, or like money doesn't grow on trees, or things aren't easy, or whatever it is. Like those are just crazy examples, but it's like because this is swords and because this channel is about personal development, even if you are dealing with people who make you feel trapped, the only reason that that manifests, that those mirrors of people exist in your reality, is because internally you are deceiving yourself, you are betraying yourself, you are trying to get away with something within yourself. Like, for example, when we promise ourselves that we're going to start working out, and then every morning when the alarm clock goes off, you convince yourself, like, oh, well, I'm tired because of this, and that, and I don't have the energy, and I deserve to sleep in, and so on and so forth. So it's like you're tricking yourself, you're lying to yourself, you're deceiving yourself, maybe you don't trust yourself. And it's only because you've allowed yourself to get away with this negative internal dialogue and narration and perception of reality based on things from the past, based on things that didn't work out before, or maybe like you thought you had a plan before and you thought that you were on the right path, but right now you're in some sort of plateau where it's teaching you patience, but you're not perceiving it that way. You're perceiving it as being stuck. A lot of the times when we're delayed by situations, we feel like, well, is this a sign from the universe or God or my higher self to stop doing what I'm doing or give up? It's like, no. If you came to this world and asked for patience, you're going to be forged in the fire with situations that are going to be, delays or not getting instant gratification, basically. And it could be, extensive delays or continuous obstacles and oppositions and mindsets and communication and things like that, ideas that don't work out, and then you're delayed, and you're thinking like, why is this happening? I'm stuck in my situation. I must give up. I can't see the way. I'm lost. I don't know what to do. And it's like you're learning patience in this moment. And you're also learning how to free yourselves from the confines of your own mind. That is the only freedom, is freedom of your own, mental torment that you create for yourself. Every human does. Every human creates suffering for themselves through our identification with our thoughts that we think are us. And it's obviously easier said than done. I know when I hear like people saying those kind of things, it's like, yeah, in theory it makes sense, but when you're in it and you're in that mind vortex of just shit piling onto you, making you feel stuck, it's very hard to get out of that situation. But here it's saying be strategic. There's something that you can do or some sort of plan that you can create to get yourself out of this situation. And it has to do with not deceiving yourself or not allowing deceptive energies around you. That is the overall energy for the month of February for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. If you like this reading, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It really does help. Let's go ahead and find out what is the specific obstacle within this overall energy of feeling stuck. What's actually your obstacle? What's your challenge in this situation? You're having a hard time juggling the everyday ups and downs of life. Like, you're going to experience this these ups and downs of your day, of minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day, and it goes on. It's like there's never going to be a time where you're constantly zen and everything's in the flow and everything's on the up and up. That is just not the way that the world works. And so these constant ups and downs, I feel like, are triggering you into this spiral of negativity where you're feeling trapped. Let's go ahead and pull a clarification card. You might feel like I'm always experiencing these lows, or because you're on the low right now, you're having a hard time remembering when you were able to celebrate, when you were able to, feel like you can create with other people and celebrate the small wins, and when you were fulfilled emotionally, and when you were creative and you were tapped into that creative or like almost like sexual energy. It's like you, and that means life-giving energy. You just are triggered by the fact that you're on a low pivot right now, and you're so like stuck on how bad it feels down here, which granted, it feels bad, it doesn't feel good, but it's eventually going to go back up. That's how it goes. It can't always be going down and never going up, ever. It has to come back up. And mind you, how bad it feels right now is how good it's going to feel. Like the mirror of that is how good it's going to feel when you are on the up. You know what I mean? It's like a rubber band. It's like however far back that it's pulled, that's how far it's going to go forward, if that makes sense. Let's go ahead. This sweatshirt is like overstimulating me. Let's go ahead and look at your strength in this situation. Can't forget your strength. Your strength in this situation is that you do have the ability to plan and have foresight. I think in the back of your mind, on a spiritual level, on an energetic and even logical level, but more so on a spiritual level because this is the Wands cards. And you know that there is more good times to come. But it's like you keep getting trapped in your thoughts, and there's something about not leaving your comfort zone because you're not sure if you're ready or something like that. But I think that if you can just make a plan for yourself and see the long-term vision, this will help you in your situation. This will help you feel more secure knowing that moving forward, there are good things to come, but you do have to take action in order to do that. And it has something to do with leaving your comfort zone. Let's look at what is your weakness. What's something that you're not paying attention to or that you can't see in yourself right now? The High Priestess, listening to your intuition and also understanding that, yes, you do have to go through the initiations of life. You do have to go through the rites of passage to be initiated into, what is behind the veil with the High Priestess. It's like she has been through it, and so she now has access to this sacred knowledge, and not everyone has access to the sacred knowledge. Not everyone is as aware as you of the pits of life, the pitfalls of life. It's like there's highs and lows, and I know as a Scorpio myself that the lows can get really low, but it's through that like hellish landscape that where we die and then we rise from the ashes as the phoenix, because that's also the symbol for Scorpio, not just the scorpion. So it's like you need to remember that you have all of the answers that you're seeking. There's no tarot reading, no therapist, no advice from an elder, or anyone who can give you the knowledge that you need. It's through your experience and through what you do with that experience that will give you the answers that you seek. These mediums like tarot readings and all these other things are helpful tools for your expansion, but the only way to expand is through your own experiences and deciding what to do with those experiences. How are you going to react? Let's go ahead and pull an oracle card for your advice. What's the advice for Scorpio for the month of February? How can we tie this all together? Let's leave on a good note from this reading, feeling refreshed, feeling inspired. You have number 22, no expectations. I'm going to quickly read this passage. Black Panther represents walking into the dark and exploring feminine power of allowing development to come from the unknown. Walking into the unknown with no expectations is the key that will open the door to your success. The no expectations medicine of this card strongly advises you not to limit yourself with ideas about how anything will unfold. Life is planning something more delicious than you can currently understand. Something profound is on the horizon for you. Trust life without needing to be the dictator of how and when your manifestation will blossom into fruition. Intense expectations will only inhibit the ability of what is more extraordinary to develop. Take the risk for what you desire without the desperate need to control how it will unfold. A situation you perceive as a failure today may be what leads you to unfathomable success in 3 years. This is why an expectation of how you think things should work is futile. Understand that whatever occurs in your life is meant for your growth. Our misguided steps and our mistakes are our greatest teachers. Taking risks allows divine opportunities to present themselves. Take note if you are met with continuous resistance and rigid expectation. This is a universal sign that another direction is more beneficial. So take a step back and allow the path of least resistance to be revealed. This is not to say you should give up immediately, but it does warn you that you may be unaligned with the flow. It may also be a signal that you just need to wait a bit longer. I hope that you guys like this reading. Don't forget to subscribe. Let me know how it resonated with you in the comments below. I'd love to hear it, and stay tuned for the next video. Thanks.